I hope you're enjoying our course on the digital economy. My name is Michael Santos, and I am really grateful for every opportunity I have to share lessons that I am learning with people who are incarcerated, because I know it's super important for those individuals to start preparing for success upon release. It's the reason behind our introductory course, Preparing for Success After Prison. This is a masterclass, and I'm super grateful to my collaborator, Ryan Salem, who has volunteered time with our nonprofit to teach us about the digital economy. And if you haven't worked through our first 21 lessons, I encourage you to do so. If you haven't worked through our introductory course, I encourage you to do that as well. It's not necessary to complete the digital economy class, but it will certainly help you think different from when you came into prison. It'll help you think differently from what other people expect of a person in prison. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors. I was incarcerated for 26 years. And every day that I was inside, I focused on how could I emerge successfully. That's why I feel so passionately about wanting to help other people do the same. And that's what we learn through these lessons that we're very grateful to be able to distribute free of charge to anybody in prison. And we're sponsored by whitecollaradvice.com. We're sponsored by the Righting Wrongs law firm. And these organizations also believe in our mission. And that mission is really about not only teaching about the digital economy, but also using the digital economy to advance our efforts as an advocacy group to try and introduce programs like a federal work release program, or like access to earn freedom and incentivizing a pursuit of excellence. It's something I've written about extensively in my books, Earning Freedom, and all of the other books that I write about. But I never ask anybody to do anything that I am not doing. And that's the reason I show you in real time how I am using these lessons to advance my own life, and how I am always learning and trying to build businesses around what I am learning. So let me start reading right now on lesson number 22, which is about a different altcoin. This is our final lesson in this series on altcoins, where we will be discussing Avalanche. So as a speculator with an avid interest in business development, I am always reading about the digital economy. And it seems as if every day we see a new altcoin. I could write about them every day, and in future lessons we'll cover more. For now, we're going to cover Avalanche as the final altcoin for this series of lessons in our masterclass on the digital economy. Now, according to our research, Avalanche has a novel approach to solving blockchain scalability and performance issues. Some say that this altcoin stands to revolutionize the blockchain space with its rapid transactions, low fees, and eco-friendly consensus mechanism. This lesson introduces the origins, key features, and potential applications of Avalanche, highlighting its significance in the digital economy. So, Cornell professor, and I'm going to try and pronounce his name correctly, is Emin Gun Sirar, led a team at Ava Labs that launched Avalanche in 2020. Now, like other developers, Ava Labs wanted to provide solutions to challenges that many blockchain networks face, including scalability, security, and decentralization. Avalanche's blockchain introduced a unique consensus mechanism that allowed for high throughput and near instant transaction finality, setting a new standard in the blockchain ecosystem. In the context of blockchain technology, high throughput refers to the capacity of the network to process a large number of transactions within a short period. It is a measure of the efficiency and performance of a blockchain, indicating how quickly and smoothly it can handle operations from simple transfers to complex smart contract executions. Now, a blockchain with high throughput, like Avalanche, can support more users and applications, making it suitable for widespread adoption and use in various scenarios, from financial transactions to decentralized applications, also known as DApps, that require fast and reliable data processing. High throughput is crucial for ensuring that the network remains scalable, meaning it can accommodate growth in demand without significant increases in costs or delays in transaction processing times. So what are some of the key features of Avalanche? Subnets. Avalanche allows for the creation of subnets or subnetworks, enabling customized blockchains tailored to specific needs or use cases, all interoperable within the Avalanche ecosystem. Rapid finality. Avalanche's consensus mechanism ensures transactions are confirmed within seconds, significantly reducing wait times compared to other blockchains. eco-friendly consensus. Unlike energy-intensive proof-of-work systems, Avalanche's protocol is designed to be energy efficient, aligning with growing concerns about blockchain technology's environmental impact. So what are some of the practical applications that we could use Avalanche to build upon? Well, here's an idea about a decentralized finance on Avalanche. Because at Prison Professors, we're always striving to create opportunities that could potentially lead to businesses that will support our advocacy initiatives. We know the challenges ahead, and we will need resources to overcome those challenges. With Avalanche, we are considering creating an escrow-like service that will benefit from the growth of the digital economy. Now, with the Avalanche blockchain, we could use smart, self-executing contracts to ensure a fair and transparent transaction process for both parties involved. Prison Professors could structure such a service using Avalanche's capabilities as followed. Number 1, contract creation. First, a developer would write a smart contract specifying the terms of the escrow agreement, including the conditions under which the funds would be released to the seller, returned to the buyer if the seller doesn't perform as specified in the contract. And this contract would be deployed on the Avalanche C chain, which supports Ethereum virtual machines, compatible smart contracts, allowing for a wide range of functionalities and the use of popular development tools. Now, I know I'm giving a lot of terms here that seem unfamiliar unless you've gone through some of our previous courses on blockchain, decentralized finance, Ethereum, and the Ethereum virtual machine. If you haven't done so, I encourage you to look at those earlier lessons. Now we're going to move to number 2. They'd have to fund the deposit. So a buyer would initiate the transactions by depositing the agreed-upon amount of cryptocurrency into the smart contract. This action would lock the funds within the contract, preventing either party from accessing them until the contract's conditions are fulfilled. Number 3, product or service delivery. The seller would provide the product or service as agreed, and once the buyer received and accepted delivery, the buyer would signal approval to the smart contract. And then there's going to be, number 4, the funds release. Upon receiving confirmation from the buyer, the smart contract would automatically release the funds to the seller, completing the transaction. If the product or the service was not delivered as agreed, or if the buyer was not satisfied, the contractor could be programmed to return the funds to the buyer after a certain period or through a dispute resolution mechanism. And what is a dispute resolution? Well, for added security and trust, the escrow service could incorporate a dispute resolution mechanism that could involve a third-party arbitration where a trusted arbitrator had the authority to intervene and manually release the funds based on evidence provided by both parties. Now, the benefits of using Avalanche for the escrow service would be many, including high throughput and low latency. The Avalanche's high transaction throughput and low finality time ensure that escrow transactions would be processed quickly and efficiently. Low transaction costs. Now, compared to other blockchain platforms, Avalanche would offer lower transaction fees, making it cost-effective for escrow transactions of any size. And then there is security and decentralization. The decentralized nature of blockchain and the immutable properties of smart contracts would provide a secure environment for conducting escrow transactions without the need for traditional intermediaries. Flexibility. The compatibility with Ethereum's tooling and smart contract standards would allow developers to create complex escrow mechanisms that can cater to a wide range of use cases. Now, by utilizing Avalanche's smart contract capabilities, businesses could create secure, efficient, and trustless escrow services that safeguarded funds until contractual obligations were met, providing a valuable service in e-commerce, freelancing, real estate, and many other industries. So I want you to be thinking about these kinds of assets and how you could use them to build businesses. And I can tell you there is a real-time use for this type of a service, this escrow service. I don't know if Prison Professors is going to develop this escrow service because all of this takes time, energy, and resources and a business plan. And I'm at a stage in my life where I don't know that I want to get involved in building another business with that layer of complexity. On the flip side, maybe we'll find people on our team who would like to do that. I can tell you specifically, I recently wanted to convert these kinds of assets, investment grade watches, into cash. And one of the ways that I wanted to do it was by selling them for cryptocurrency. But the problem becomes, how do you do that? How could I send my watch to a person, have him inspect the watch, and then expect to get payment? I couldn't. I wouldn't send it to him, because even if I said, you've got to pay me to take ownership of the watch, once it's in his possession, what do I have? That's number one. Number two, sometimes people accept the watch and they exchange a real investment grade watch for a fake one, and they send back the fake one. There's so many scams that go on with people that you've got to protect yourself. And this kind of a product that I just described, an escrow service, sounds to me like a really good entrepreneurial venture, because what you would do for a product like this is I would show the watch, right? Create a video that shows the watch, number one. Step two, advertise the watch. Interested buyers would say, hey, I want to buy it. Great. I'm not even going to send it to you unless you engage in this smart contract. You'd have to deposit the funds in escrow, okay? And then I would send the watch to a trusted third party, maybe a jeweler in that area, and we would pay him for that service. So the jeweler would take possession of the watch. The buyer then, wherever he's from, could go look at the watch, inspect it. If he wants to do it, he signs the contract right there and releases the watch. And that and then that's the only way that I would receive the funds. If he didn't like the watch, he'd get his funds back. So that kind of service is the way that entrepreneurs will build businesses around digital currencies and blockchain and tools like Avalanche. So you should be thinking about what you can do in prison to build a pathway to learn. So that was really my lesson on Avalanche. I want to now get back into the investments. I know that's an exciting part of the digital course lessons that we're creating. I'm going to turn to that right now. Now, it's important to remember that I filmed this video. I wrote this lesson back on February the 26th. And on the day that I was filming the video, which was February 26th at 4:26 in the afternoon, Bitcoin was on a rise. And in fact, the Coinbase exchange showed that it was trading at $54,592 a coin. I had 4 coins, and you will remember from previous lessons that I personally invested $192,202.76. But those 4 Bitcoins, based on the new price, had lifted the those assets to being valued at $218,368 since only January 31st. So in less than a month, there was a gain of $26,165.24. Now, if you'd been following along in all of these previous lessons, you'll also know that I purchased an Ether for the purposes of converting this lesson into a non-fungible token, which we'll be covering in these future lessons. That Ether, when I purchased it, was $3,021, but ETH had also gone up in value by the day that I wrote this lesson, which was in late February, and it had risen to $3,172.89. What about some of the other altcoins? Well, back on the date that I wrote this lesson, which was, again, February 26th, those assets were trading at the following numbers. Link was trading at $19.06. Cardano was trading at 62 cents. Cosmos was trading at $11.14. Dogecoin was still trading under 9 cents a coin. Litecoin was trading at $72.02. Monero was trading at $133.81. Polkadot was trading at $8.10. Ripple was trading at 54.99 cents. Solana was trading at $110.21, and Avalanche, the one that we just discussed, was trading at $39.33. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't pretend to be a financial advisor. It's super important that I always express that in every lesson. But I do want you to become aware that these are very volatile. You have to do your due diligence, and you should have some understanding of how these assets are changing in price as the digital economy becomes more acceptable in society. And if you look at this website right here, Coinbase, you can see where these prices are today. And I'm filming this video on March the 7th at 5:50 in the morning. And you can see that today, Bitcoin is trading at $67,000. You can see that Ether is trading at 3804. It's been on the rise this morning. Solana is now trading at 145. You see it's up 13% in the last 24 hours. So quite a big run. Dogecoin, remember, was trading at less than 9 cents? Well, now it's trading at 15 cents, and that's down 7% from where it was yesterday. XRP is trading at 62 cents. ADA is trading at 73 cents. Link is trading at 19.89 cents. Binance BNB is trading at $444. So all of these changes, Litecoin's at $85, and all of these altcoins are moving actually significantly faster than Bitcoin. There's Avalanche is trading at $43. When I filmed this, when I wrote this lesson, it was trading at $39. So these coins and cryptocurrencies are always moving, and it's super important for you, in my view, to develop some basic understanding of what they are and figure out, well, how could I use this knowledge to build my life and prepare for success upon release? In my view, you may not be able to invest today, you may not be able to build businesses on these today, but even learning the lexicon and becoming somewhat fluent with what these coins do or how the market is valuing these coins, the better off you're going to be. So I'm going to leave you with these critical thinking questions. 1, how does Avalanche's subnet feature contribute to its scalability and customization capabilities? And what implications does this have for blockchain development? Number 2, in what ways could Avalanche's rapid transaction finality and low fees revolutionize the DeFi sector and broader blockchain applications? And number 3, consider the significance of Avalanche's eco-friendly consensus mechanism in the context of increasing environmental concerns about blockchain technology. How might this influence the adoption of Avalanche? So those critical thinking questions, I hope, really will get you just to start thinking about the digital economy. And if you just take the time to put words into sentences and sentences into paragraphs, you are going to be able to demonstrate how hard you are working to stay current. The reality that I experienced is that prisons don't always provide enough real-time information to motivate people to want to learn or show them real applications. That's what our digital economy course does, and I couldn't have done it without sponsorship and support from my collaborator Ryan Salem, from the sponsorship from whitecollaradvice.com, or from sponsorship from the Righting Wrongs law firm. All of us are working together to try and change the system in ways that will bring more incentives to persuade, administrators to incentivize the pursuit of excellence. So if you're working hard and memorializing your journey and your preparations for success, we're hoping that you could work to earn freedom, just as we've written about in our book, Earning Freedom, Conquering a 45-Year Prison Sentence. We want you to be able to demonstrate why you are a worthy candidate for work release programs or for home confinement or for other types of incentives that will help you transition into society as a law-abiding, contributing, tax-paying citizen. And we've even built a platform for you to do that. It's at prisonprofessorstalent.com. We don't charge anybody anything to document and memorialize their journey. If you'd like to do so, we're hoping you will by sending us an email to interns@prisonprofessorstalent.com. If you have access to the Adovo platform, you could just do it right through Adovo. If you do email us, make sure that you write digital economy course on the email so that we know how to categorize how you've come into our system, and we could show administrators why these courses are so important. If you don't have access to digital communications, just send us to us through the regular mail at Prison Professors, care of the Digital Economy, at 32565 Golden Lantern, Suite B-1026 in beautiful Dana Point, California at 92629. My name is Michael Santos. Together with my collaborator, Ryan Salem, and our entire team at Prison Professors, I just want to say that we believe in you. We want you to believe in yourself, and we want you to work towards building a better future. So I look forward to the next lesson, and I want to thank you for being a part of our community. Thanks.